Hey guys, welcome to Starcraft. I'm DreadbaneSC, joined by SephyreSC. We've once again been joined by our Terran expert JT also. But first of all, we've got our two players. We've got Murdoc, the blue Terran, versus RaID, the red Zerg. Now, this is played on Metalopolis. So, Seth, what are we going to see?
Yeah, what up, guys? Sapphire here. We are looking at a TVZ on Metalopolis, and as you know, I like to favour Zerg on this map because as a Zerg player, it's just really nice that these nice open expansions, you can spread lots of creep. There's these contested gold expansions. You can think about making an aggressive push to get out early. So I'm expecting to see macro from RaID. From the Terran player, I just expect a wall in and then a contain, but there's a lot of options from Terran. They can really do some nice strong pointing with siege tanks on the ramps here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a good game. Not quite sure whether we'll see any cheese from Murdoc. I'm assuming it's definitely got to be Rupert Murdoc taking a day off from News Corp to throw down some Starcraft 2. So yeah, be interesting to see what old Rupert can do.
You know, he's got a lot of free time, so everybody likes StarCraft. Why shouldn't he? But last one of these games, it was actually a fortress. A planetary fortress actually won the game for the other player. It was actually a very strong point down the bottom. Now, I really hope we see that again because I love the planetary fortress. It's very powerful, especially with SCVs. It made a very interesting game to watch. Now, JT, what do you see from this Terran player so far?
Well, interestingly enough, the drone scout from the Zerg got in time to harass the positioning of the barracks. So the barracks isn't actually in a great position for a Zergling type wall at the moment. It'll be interesting to see if the Zerg player can actually make any use of that for now. But aside from that, fairly standard opening. Supply depot into barracks. I'm expecting we'll see, probably, M&M as I think it's a pretty common build versus Zerg players, but. Then again, Terran Armor is also getting more and more popular these days. He's already getting his gas up. It's a reasonably late gas, but we'll just have to see what he goes.
Yeah, really strong harassment from RaID. I really like that wall interruption drone movement. That was great micro, a great investment of sending out that early drone to do that. From a Zerg point of view, trying to bust into those early walls, it's just almost not worth it unless you're going for a Baneling bust. So for RaID to interrupt that, he's opened up this ramp. He's completely opened up his options in this game. Normally you would think that he would be looking to put down an early expansion and then, have to deal with a wall in, but now he's free to walk in, and we are seeing an early command send up from Murdoc. So we are seeing a really fast command set. I mean, it's not a 14cc or 15cc, so it's not that super fast expansion build, but we did see the expansion go up now, and we saw that wall-in be interrupted. So Murdoc's been harassed right here from that hero drone that finally went down. So that was really, really good scouting micro there from RaID. And we are seeing Zerglings move out across the map now, and this wall-in is wide open. There's a little gap there that Zerglings can sneak into thanks to his harassment. So I imagine we're going to see these Zerglings move in here and try and take out a little bit of economic damage, maybe do a little bit more harassment. He really should make the move now before Murdoc is able to completely wall this off. The Zerglings are just chilling out, probably waiting for their little buddies before they work up the courage to go face those heroic solitary Marine there who's just sort of standing guard. He doesn't really have any buddies yet. There's a friend of his coming out now. So these Zerglings should have gone in earlier, but now would be a great time to just sort of sneak by and harass this wall in here. Not quite sure if Murdoc's going to be able to stop it if RaID goes in earlier, but now that he's got extra Marines out and the SCV is going to plug the hole a little bit, I think he should be okay. But yeah, RaID's positioning and point in this game is quite strong at this point.
I thought RaID lost an opportunity to get the, to get some damage in there. He only had the one Marine in that base there, so if he went in, he would have been in a strong position. As it is, there's just a massive Zerglings just hanging out outside the base. They do look to be attacking now, though. They're going to make their way in. The Marines should be okay if they can get this block off. Now, they are free to walk in, though. Now, there is a choke. These Zerglings are streaming in now. They're going straight through, going to surround this little Marine, getting taken out. Now, these Marines not following the Zerglings, though, so they are free to actually get into the SCV line, taking out a couple SCVs. They might not do too much damage, but these SCVs continue to take the brunt of the force right now, so a bit of missed micro by Murdoc. He really should have been on top of that. He did lose way too many SCVs for how many Marines he had on the field right there. He does have a lot of barracks now, though, the 3, so he is recuperating any losses of those Marines he had, but the SCV losses were a bit heavy. So this command center now lifting off. see where he's going to go with it. I'd like to see some sneaky, like maybe go to see get the gold expansion or something like that. It would be pretty ballsy though, considering he doesn't have much of a presence out on the field just yet. He's just doing the safe thing, of course, and just taking his natural, like you would expect he would. He's going to build a bunker in front of it too to house some of these Marines, just to keep it safe from these Zerglings who are just taking the high ground in the second expansion up the top here, just to make sure nothing sneaking is going on there. This Overlord slowly making its way there, going to sacrifice itself to see what is going on in this area. The Marines will catch sight of it and start to take it down, I'm sure, but it just looks like Murdoc is fortifying himself. So, JT, have you got anything to add here?
The only thing I can think that's interesting at the moment is Murdoc hasn't actually built any expansions onto his barracks. No tech labs, no reactors, so he's still just pumping Marines out of 3 solitary barracks. I haven't seen a factory or a second gas yet, so it looks like he's quite content to stay just with these Raxes. We'll have to see how it works out for him.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of Zergling harassment there, trying to work his way around the bunkers. Due to this that early game harassment, Murdoc's been forced to leave his ramp wide open. Now he's finally taking that expansion after trying to do a early CC there. So Murdoc's really behind the 8 ball. But then again, this is Terran we're talking about, and now Terran is 2-basing, and it's up with these 2 bunkers in place. So Murdoc's in a pretty good position to recover. Zerg really needs to out-macro on Terran on this map. Usually you'll see Terran sit behind a wall and come out with a tech build, whereas Murdoc's been a little bit more wide open, committing to this infantry. Finally, we're seeing the tech labs go down. Meanwhile, RaID has not saturated his natural enough, but he is, keeping up the pressure, keeping up the harassment. He would be able to do a complete run-by with these Zerglings right now and take out the remnants of these SCVs before these Marines could really do much about it. But, RaID is just content to keep the harassment up, keep him defensive, although he is letting him 2-base. But now he's starting to kick in with his Hydra tech, so we will start to see Hydras come in. And if they can make a play before this Terran is able to go switch to a metal-heavier build, I think he'll be okay. Marauders are starting to come out now, so it's a little bit of a precarious situation for Zerg. He should have capitalized a bit more, I feel. Maybe he should think about taking a gold expansion and really extending this map control advantage that he has a little bit more. But we are seeing him kick in a bit more with Hydras. I imagine that the M&M balls are going to be well and truly able to stand up to it if they fight in these barracks. But he's not going to surrender map control. He is moving out to split rally points with these units here. No, he is changing it out to the gold expansion, so he's probably looking to catch Terran a bit out of position, while Murdoc just seems happy to sit on 2 bases.
Now, crazily enough, in the main base, this one Marine has actually gone straight through the whole base and actually made it to the lair of the opposite player, to the Zerg player. So, a little bit of a Rambo Marine completely through everybody there. He did get to see a bit of scouting information. That was very brave from that Marine. He took one for the team and got what he needed. Now, these Marines down the bottom near the natural expansion are about to move out, I think, or they're just moving around kind of doing a little dance. They are now moving out. They are going to see if they can cause some damage to this natural expansion, I'm sure. Well, the Zerg players actually moved into the gold expansion area, so we'll see what Murdoc does here, if he actually chooses to go after these units, or if he's actually going to make him pay for moving out. So, he's actually moving in slowly now. The Queen waiting for his reinforcements, going to start engaging now, but no Zerglings to help out right now. Now they come in, the Queen's already down, the Hydra's starting to pick off some of these Marines. Yeah, the Hydra should have this easily won. The Marauder's not enough to do it. So that Marine army and Marauder army does get wiped out. And really, the only loss was a couple Zerglings and the Queen. So, JT, do you see anything new from the Terran player?
He's got down his eBay, but hasn't actually started researching any upgrades there. Interestingly enough, he's getting a factory with a tech lab and an armory, so hopefully in the not too distant future we might see some Thor action, which will be very good. Thors are very good at popping those Hydras. But I just look over now, and the Zerg player has a few Overlords loaded up with Hydras and might be doing a drop into the back of the Terran base, so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
We could be seeing a classic Doom drop here, but these Overlords don't have speed upgrade.